Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. I am Tanya E. Hood, a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, it simply means I've worn a lot of different hats in my life that have helped me develop a full range of strategies and actionable steps that I've used to help my clients make a strategic impact, both personally and professionally, to have better than what life has been giving them. Red Alert Diaries is based on the life lessons from my premier book, Red Alert. Is He the One? The Pocket Guide Defining the Love of Your Life. Now, if you read my book, you already know that I got married at 21. And after 11 years of marriage, I found myself going through a divorce, having to raise my two sons alone. To reset my life and survive my divorce, I took the time I needed to get to know me better, which opened me up to new love again. So now I'm in a new marriage to the love of my life and my best friend, which just proves there is life after divorce. On this podcast, we have conversations that's real talk, marriage, divorce, money, and legacy. And I want you to join me on the journey. So, I want to give you a little bit of an idea of how I work through a few elements of my life. Lots of times you hear the concept that says it takes 21 days to make a habit. That is not a true statement. It takes you 21 days to recognize what you would like that habit to be, some of the plans and some actions that you want to implement, but it's not sealed in your soul. You see, you need more time than that to get things to become automatic. Typically, I've often shared with my clients that you need 90 days to get yourself to a position where you can be whole. But I've discovered something newer. A little recently, I was reading a few things and gaining a little more insight. And I've discovered that because we're trying to reset ourselves, find our new normal, and in this new environment where a lot of us are doing hybrid or virtual living, you have to give yourself a little more time to buffer. If you're like me, an individual that had to start working on doing a little more things in social media, a little more things virtually, it was not the easiest journey. But I had to get what I needed to do because we are in our new normal. When I discovered that the 90 days helped me create a decent habit, I still needed a buffer to ensure that it was there before I added something new. 100 days became the optimal time to be able to do the thing that I needed to do, to have whatever that new habit was sealed in my soul, to give myself clarity that I had what I needed and to help me move into a better direction. I want to encourage you to start using that as one of your milestones. Choosing 100 days as your goal gives you the chance to create some nice milestones to help you achieve what you're trying to do. A lot of you are already aware that I'm an electrical engineer by discipline, project manager by trade. My natural, logical, analytical mind gives me the opportunity to think in outlines. I use that on a regular basis on my job, but also some of the things that we do for our professional life, we need to start learning how to apply in our personal life. We have a tendency sometimes to segment things, but you are you everywhere you go. There are some pieces of who you are, yes, that you show in certain areas a little more than you show in others. Well, I want to encourage you to start looking at the things that you do well, the things that you maximize that can be used in various areas of your life. Being a project manager is something that I know and have finally learned that I can use in various areas of my life. See, it gives me the opportunity to take that 100 days and break it down into milestones that will help me be successful. I remember a time after trying to figure out how to get my life back together and what I was going to do moving forward, that I wanted to do some things different with my parenting skills. When you go from a two-parent household down to a one-parent household, there's some things that got to be changed. But your children still need the both elements that it takes to be in that household. So you've got to learn some new skills, pick up some new actions, do some various things. And I had to do a lot of new things to keep my children safe, as stable as possible, and to move into a better direction for myself. So I discovered my 90-day journey there. But when I started looking back, it occurred to me that it took 100 days most of the time to do the things that I really want to implement so that they worked in my household. You see, that 100 days gave me my 90-day window that I often talk about because I had a 2-week buffer. That 2 weeks gave me the chance to not worry so much, not to have to struggle so hard in the journey. because you already are working through doing the best you can with all that you have. You do not need your mind wandering into a space or a place where you're struggling through the process. So, those extra 2 weeks in that 100-day journey helped me. It helped me function. It helped me be able to move into a better direction because what I did was break those 90 days down. That 21 days that people often talk about, that's your first 30 days. It gets included in there, it gets wound in there. The changes that you want to make, you can often find in that time period. So, those first 30 days, let that be your first milestone. What do you want to do? What area do you want to work on? What is it you are trying to maximize in your life right now? That first 30 days will give you the chance to start putting it together, getting used to it just a little bit. Now, you get to the 60-day marker. That 60-day marker lets you start sealing it in a little bit more. You start getting a little more familiar with it. You start getting comfortable with applying it to where you have or the various areas that you've chosen that you want to make a few changes in. That will give you the chance to have 60 days doing that one habit that you want to create to help you move better, be better, function better. And then the 90-day marker. That's your third marker. Once you get there, you are already should be a little more automatic. That last 30 days gives you the chance to start really sealing it in your soul. It gives you the opportunity to really start being on automatic because a habit is not a habit until it's automatic. We often try to think that we're creating new habits, but some of our old habits, we have been doing them for so long. The automatic nature we are unconscious of. You need whatever new habit, new activity, new skill, or new thought that you want put in place to become automatic. Doing it for 100 days will support you. Because when I decided that I wanted to do better in parenting my kids, give them a little more elements about what to do, I had to first free up some time. I learned how to really batch my meals. So I would cook 3 meats, 3 vegetables, and 3 starches on Sunday. Now, for those of you that say that having the same meal over and over again can be boring, and I agree, which is why during the week you add something to it. So if you have baked chicken for Sunday that will last you 3 days, on Wednesday you can fix pork chops or something different, and that will be your mix up. On Monday or Tuesday, you can change the vegetables out to 1 or 2 vegetables, which means during the week, you're not fixing whole meals that will bog you down and you don't have a lot of time after work anyway. But there's a little bit of a mix up. And then you can take the meat that you fixed on Sunday, you can apply it to, let's say, Tuesday, and you can freeze the third day since you fixed 3 portions of it. That way, you got the opportunity to have a meal that you can pull in the freezer, pull out later. You have a meal that you can mix things up, and you have what you can fix on a regular basis to make things just a little bit easier for you. That was something that helped me do the parenting piece that I desired. Give me time to sit with my children. You see, when we're going through chaos and trauma, when we are going through the breakdown and the heartache in our worlds, and we want to keep our babies whole, we got to be with them. We got to be next to them. And in order for you to be near your kids, you got to free up your time. If there's not 2 people in the house that's managing that time, then you have got to be the one to fix it, to function, and to move into a better direction. By choosing that 100 days, I was able to start segmenting a couple of other areas of my life. You see, when you have a goal that will give you the opportunity to get the habit sealed in your soul, just getting a chance to spend more time with my children helped me recognize that time was an element that I need to start weaving into something else. You can apply your 100-day habit to anything that you desire. When I decided that I needed to apply it on how to do a little bit better with my money, a lot of you know this story, how I cleared up that $35,000 worth of debt. Well, it took more than 100 days to do it, but the habit of being consistent with what I needed to do to clear it up occurred within that 100-day time period. Because when I went and I looked back over what was going on in my journey, part of who I am and how I function, I want things to work. Like a lot of people, I wanted to work and I wanted to work right now. But we don't live in a world where everything will happen right now. We don't live in a world where we get to control all of the circumstances that we are living in. What we can do is control our part. And as long as you get yourself into a position where you can maximize your part to the best of your ability, that 100-day journey gives you the chance to be clear about the milestones. And some of you have already heard about putting together goals that are tangible, goals that have strategies. This one piece that they also say, put a goal that has a time period in it. This metric gives you a marker to let you know where you are. And here's one more thing I want to leave you with. You can reset whenever you desire. If you find that you have not yet created what you really wanted in that 100 days, reset it. All you have to do is keep tweaking at it. As you tweak it a little bit more, readjust the plan just a little bit more, you will reach a position in a place where you'll be successful. The goals that you desire, be they relationship goals, money goals, financial goals, whatever goal that you have in mind. And because I did finally carve out enough time, I was able to take a moment to have individual time in my day for both my sons. Now, and I know that there are still some things that they have experienced that we have had to talk about as they've gotten older. But because I did take the time to create a new habit, to create a new space, to develop new moments to keep me whole, to help them be whole, to get past my pain, my trauma, and heal, they got a better experience than they would have. Take the time that you need. And if you are going through a moment that you need to pause enough to heal, pick one area of pain, set the 100-day status to it, and start working on it. For the first 30 days, if you need to grieve, then let that be your day of grief. You can take the whole month as you desire to get what you have out of your soul, because too many people are walking around with the wounds that they have experienced from others and cutting new people, new friends, new moments. Let's not let that continue to be the journey. And then after you're done with your grieving period for those 30 days, the next 30 days can be for you to just start clearing some things out. But pick one thing. Don't try to make a whole bunch of changes at one time. Pick one thing for that next 30 days. And then the final 30-day marker, when you reach your 90 days, that pain that you once felt will be lightened. The goals of where you wanted to go and you're trying to get to a better position, you can now implement. And if you need to reset, you got that 2-week buffer that makes that 100 days to keep you whole, get you safe. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else that I've shared, here's the one thing I want you to know. You can be whole. You can be healed. Take the time that you need and choose whatever area of your life that you desire. Financial, parenting, or just healing. Because once I finally cleared up a few things and saw that there was space, I did have to go back and put a 100-day marker on my healing time so that my children can have a better mama, so that the people in my life that I met could have a better Tanya. And if all else fails, I would know from the top of my head to the soles of my feet that I was a better me. And because I was a better me, everything that I encountered and the boundaries and standards that I wanted to put in place to keep me whole were easier to implement, to maintain, and to build a better future. Because that, y'all, is how I ended up in my new marriage, going on almost 12 years now. When I think about it, if I had not taken the time to discover this 100-day journey, what would things have been? I don't really want to think about that. And you don't have to think about that either. So if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.